And revisiting our top story tonight once again on the Anti-Graft Summit, which was attended by President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy today, among other dignitaries. The president has directed Attorney General Paul Kihara Kariuki to prepare a bill with express provisions barring public servants from transacting businesses with government institutions that they work for or head. And in a move likely to spark outrage from the legal fraternity, Kenyatta has also asked Kariuki to reintroduce in Parliament a bill compelling lawyers to disclose to investigative agencies details of client accounts and properties they hold on behalf of those they represent. And as Francis Kishuru now reports, Kenyan citizens have been challenged to call out corrupt persons without fear of reprisal.
We will not be bribed.
The second and final day of a national conference on graft, convened by the Multi-Sector Initiative Against Corruption. Unlike such past conferences that were mere talk shops, with nothing tangible to show in the fight against wanton siphoning and mismanagement of public resources, the Bomas Convention required all stakeholders, the executive, investigative agencies, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, the judiciary, parliament, and the general population to make firm, practical and accountable commitments in fighting the vice.
Today, I hope that together we shall turn the tide in the war against corruption, creating the platform for victory against the vice that has in many cases impeded our social and economic development.
President Uhuru Kenyatta acknowledging that many top public servants were using their privileged positions to short-circuit the system and individually benefit from the resources they were required to manage.
Parastatal chiefs should not be in a position to use their offices to advance their private businesses.
Citing the Ndegwa Commission and the recommendations it presented to the then head of state, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, in May 1971 on public service structure and remuneration, Kenyatta directed Attorney General Paul Kihara Kariuki to prepare a bill to crack down on conflict of interest.
Kwa hivyo, kama ni polisi, jameni muamue, wewe unataka kuwa mwenye matatu na ni sawa, lakini uniform weka chini. Huwezi kuwa officer ambaye anashika gari kwa barabara, alafu wewe pia ndio officer ambaye ndio mwenye gari. You cannot police yourself.
The Ndegwa Commission had recommended that those who serve in government should not subordinate their duties to private interests or put themselves in a position that triggers conflict of interest between their duty to self and the state. They were also not supposed to use any information accessible to them in their official capacity for private gain.
Just say you are challenging the rest of us. Challenge yourselves.
With the fight against corruption gathering steam, lawyers have been accused of insulating masterminds of grand theft of public resources by citing the privilege of client confidentiality.
So today, under client privilege, people can move money around and not have to declare and just say, client, munaita nini hiyo? Client confidentiality, hiyo.
A bill that sought to give investigative agencies access to information lawyers hold on their clients was shot down in the August House. That proposed law is set for a comeback in Parliament in a move likely to spark resistance from the learned friends.
If a man or a woman, for that matter, is being investigated for a particular case, why should you deny the investigative arms the ability to be able to see who the beneficial owner is? I today call again on the lawyers' body and also on Parliament. Do the right thing.
Kenyans challenged to shun the corrupt instead of protecting and turning them to heroes and heroines.
Every one of us has committed to exterminate this big rat called corruption. And we're going to do it. Piga rungu, pahali zote, piga rungu. And I like this conference because it is less of finger pointing and more of appreciation of where we are and what we need to do collectively, together.
So we must bite the bullet and go that extra mile to deal with this cancer of corruption. So we need to face this directly and openly and deal with it. This is when we are going to be able to slay this dragon of corruption.
Corruption has for many years remained a puzzle that past administrations and institutions been unable to resolve effectively, with billions of shillings meant for development across the country to make life bearable for millions of people ending up in the pockets of a few. The take-home from the two-day conference here at Bomas of Kenya is for every person to play their rightful role if the dragon of graft is to be slayed once and for all. Francis Gashuri, Citizen TV, Nairobi.